Okay, so the second cast for tonight is going to go between the MJM players and Patrick.Gaming. So those are the two teams that we'll be playing tonight. This is going to be their Week 3 matchup for the Division 3 matches, the Div 3 bracket. So we are going to see Pat.GG going up against the MJM players. We have seen the MJM players previously. They did go up against Team Laughing Kills. That was the matchup for Week 2. And yep, so we're just going to wait for the remainder of the MJM and Pat.GG players to come in. They are just, screwing about doing the pre-game DM, so we can just hop in and take a look at that. So yeah, so that is going to be the people for. It's going to be the matchup for tonight. MJM going up against Pat.GG, and it does look like MJM do have a Merc coming in, I believe. Right, so they do have a different person for medic right now. Instead of Oid, it's going to be Chimera. So Chimera is the one that's going to be the medic for the side of MJM. Right, so the roster for MJM is going to remain unchanged apart from the medic, so let's just go through the roster really quickly. We do have Sphere and Carolyn on the scouts as usual. Moonlit and the Big Head will be your solis. Asan the Demoman, followed by Chimera as the medic for this map. For this round, sorry. So tonight the two maps being played are going to be CP Process and Snakewater. I've yet to change the map names right there. So first map is going to be CP Process, followed by Snakewater shortly after. And yep, so that is going to be the maps that will be played for tonight for Week 3 of the Div 3 bracket. MJM going up against Pat.GG. So the Pat.GG players, I believe we are waiting on one more person, with the MJM players waiting on one person as well. I'm not too sure if Pat.GG has called in a sub, because we do see Muma currently in right now. So just gonna do a quick check with the Pat.GG players and see if that's what their roster is gonna be. Right, so just hang tight while we wait for the match to start. Right, so we are waiting on the final player for the side of PatGG. But we do have their roster on hand, so let's go through their roster really quickly. Evie and Kitty are going to be the scouts. Dustin and Kure will be our solis. Robin will be the demo man, and Regis will be the medic. So those are the players for the side of PatGG. So once again, the two maps that are going to be played tonight are going to be CP Process followed by CP Snakewater. We will have both teams playing those two maps, and CP Process, as we've been seeing earlier on in the previous cast, MJM have been extremely aggressive, you know, just pushing from mid to last straight away. So let's see if PatGG can turn the tides and just take down, you know, just stop MJM in general, because MJM seemingly they are going to be on a roll. So we're just going to be waiting for the final player for the side of PatGG. The configs have been loaded, and it's just a matter of time before the final player joins. Robin, I believe, the demo man for the side of PatGG. So they're just waiting for that final player, and then we can start the match proper. Okay, so it does look like PatGG have brought in a Merc. Instead of Robin, it is going to be Smiley on the demo man. So they have all their players in, and they are going to be ready to go. For the side of MJM, they are one player short at the moment. Big Ed, Himera, Carolyn, Asan, Sphere, Moonlit. Moonlit is the one that is not here at the moment, so that is going to be the player that we are going to be waiting for, the final player for MJM, before we can start the match proper. just a quick poll to see who you guys think will take the first map CP process. So just cast your votes. And you can't vote for yourself, Oxide. You can't vote for yourself. That poll is gonna be invalid. So Alright, so both teams do have their plays already in, and we do have the full roster up for both teams, Pat.GG as well as MJM. Just waiting on the players to ready up before we can start the match proper. Once again, going through the roster for the side of Pat.GG, we do have Evie and Kitty on the scouts. Dustin and Kure will be our solis. Smiley will be the demo man for the side of Pat.GG. He's going to be murking for them, and we have Richie's as the medic. So for the side of MJM, we have Sphere and Carolyn, your scouts. Moonlit and the Big Head will be our solis. Once again, Asan, the demo man, and Himera as the medic for the side of MJM. So once again, those are going to be the rosters for both teams. Just waiting on the players to ready up before we can start. This is going to be AFC 10 Division 3 bracket Week 3 matchups. MJM going up against Pat.GG. So just waiting for the players to ready up, and then we can start the first map CP process. And there we go, we are going to be live. Let's follow Asan for his rollout for the first round. The demo man for the side of MJM, so he is going to be carrying out his rollout. He's going to reach mid very, very quickly, much faster than the side of Pat.GG. We do see Smiley coming up shortly after as well. The Solly with the aggressive bomb coming in. Kitty is going to be the Solly that tries to bombing in to get the damage down onto the medic. He's going to be taken down to 44 health. He does back out to live to see another day, so good job on Kitty. He is going to be taken down to 1 health though. He is going to slowly make his way back to the medic for heals. So 2 players for the side of MJM are going to be taken down during the mid fight, the Solly as well as the scout. Both medics are still currently up and alive at the moment. The number advantage in favor of Pat.GG at the currently. Kure does fall shortly after to Sphere Scattergun. Smiley following shortly after. So that's going to be 2 players down for the side of Pat.GG. The midpoint is still up for grabs. We do see the capture time going up for the side of Pat.GG. Uber is going to be popped for the side of MJM. Himera coming in with the Uber, making everybody as shiny as possible, pushing Pat.GG players all the way back and extremely aggressively wiping most of them out. 4 players did go down, with only Evie and Kitty the only ones up. There's Smiley and Kure coming up as we speak. Kitty goes back down once again. The scout coming in and trying to get the damage down onto Himera. The Uber Soul comes out though. He does get the damage down onto Evie. Nice try by Evie right there. But Himera does live to see another day, and he does get that 25% Uber charge on hand as well. So players for the side of Pat.GG are going to be dropping. Kure being the latest one to fall. Spire is going to go into the hands of MJM. So during the mid fight, Pat.GG actually put up a decent fight for contesting the midpoint, and Uber is going to be pots for the side of MJM. They do have a heavy off class for the side of Pat.GG. There's lots of damage from the rockets coming out onto the heavy. He is going to be down to 6 health, getting healed up by the medic once again. So absolutely lovely defense for the side of Pat.GG. They do manage to push back the MJM players all the way back out to Spire. The medic is going to eat a little bit of damage from the scout's bullets. Down is 97, 96 health. They are going to back out all the way to mid. So Spire does look like it's going to go back into the hands of Pat.GG players. This is just the first round once again, so Pat.GG have dug in deep and are just giving MJM a run for their money. So MJM are going to be backing out to mid. They are going to watch choke as well as IT. Pat.GG slowly making the way forward. We are keeping our eye out on EV. He is going to be pushing forward all the way to mid, getting the capture time going up. The MGM players are going to be backing out. Richie's did die earlier on, so he does not have that Uber charge on hand. Himera currently with 75% charge, a huge advantage over Richie's 22. So 2 players for MGM do go down, making that 3 players, Moonlight and Himera going down as well. Dustin going to absolute work, destroying all the MGM players. 5 of them going down, make that a full wipe for the side of MJM. So Pat.GG going to absolute work, a coast-to-coast push from their last point all the way to Spire. They are going to be pushing into the final point. We do see Dustin and the Devilman stacking onto the point right there. Loads of capture time going up and almost capturing the point, and there we go. Richie's with the capture for his team. Absolutely lovely score, bringing the score 1-0. So absolutely lovely plays coming out from Pat.GG. They are actually winning against MJM, as contrary to what we saw earlier on, where MJM was just dominating the match between themselves going up against LK. So Pat.GG takes the first round. The score is going to be 1-0. They are going to push their way forward to the mid fight. Is going to go down right now. Asan getting a little bit low. He does back out to get the health pack. Solly Bombian takes down EV with a lovely air shot. He does get traded and taken down. So both scouts for the side of Pat.GG are going to be down, but both Solis for MJM will be destroyed during the mid fight as well. Both medics are currently still up with a slight advantage into the hands of Pat.GG Richies. Dustin is going to be a little bit low. He does back out to choke with only 3 players up, going up against MJM's 5 players, sorry, with Moonlit coming up shortly in 2 seconds. So Pat.GG have been putting on an extremely good fight, especially with the first round's coast-to-coast push from their last all the way capturing even MJM's final point. So both teams do have Uber on hand. It's just a matter of Uber pulp drop or a number advantage, and we're just gonna have to wait and see. So Himera is going to be holding relatively far back, in case of any aggressive bombs coming in. They are going to be watching choke as well as IT and even Sewer, so you do see the scout rotating around. So it does look like they are going to try to push in to get that aggressive bomb down on the Pat.GG plays. Uber is going to be popped for the side of MJM. They're going to try to take down as many players with that Uber as possible. Kitty does eventually get taken down. The Uber is going to be popped for the side of Pat.GG as well. They just, all they did was deter the MGM players from pushing in. Dustin going to absolute work once again, trying to take down as many people as possible. Doesn't do so successfully with Asan's stickies, just pumping out all the damage. Only 2 players up for the side of Pat.GG right now, with the majority of them spawning in 10 seconds. So this is going to be a really, really tight push right here. The scout comes behind, tries to get the kill down onto Himera. Almost successful though. EV, or was it Kitty? EV, I believe, tries to get Himera down. Got Himera down extremely low. It does look like they are going to try their best to push forward into final. Lots of damage coming out from both teams. The point is going to go into the hands of the MJM players. We do see the medic Richie's trying his best to stall the capture, but there you go. The final point goes into the hands of MJM, bringing the score up to 1-1. So Pat.GG putting up an extremely good fight so far. Let's see if we can hop into the perspective of Smiley, who is the demo man for the side of Pat.GG. So Smiley and Asan actually reach mid almost around the same time. So they as usual, they play passively. Once they reach mid, they just do the spamming outs. Lovely pipes coming up from Smiley. Takes down Big Head, with Big Head trying to get the pick down onto the medic. 2 players down for the side of MJM. Both Solis. Both Solis going down, so that's lots of damage negated for the side of MJM. Currently only the scouts and demo and Himera up at the moment. Both medics do still have those charges on hand. Midpoint does look like it's going to go into the hands of Pat.GG with 94% currently on charge. Kure coming up as we speak. Himera with 90% on hand. Uber is going to be in the hands of Pat.GG, but you know, coming up for Himera very, very shortly after. Both teams do have Uber right now. Just a matter of you know, picks, pops, or drops once again. So we do see MJM players getting extremely buffed up. They are going to be holding pretty far back, the medic all the way near Spire. Himera gonna buff up all the teammates before they decide to commit to anything at all. So we do not have any, we do have an off class right now. Kure is currently a sniper. Let's see if we can hop onto Kure's perspective. There we go, see if he can get any picks for his team. Of course he does put the scout right there, but he doesn't get the headshot down. So his presence may possibly have been noticed by MJM. You see, they're not too keen on pushing forward to choke, or you know, even coming out from IT as well. So both teams not too eager on popping any Ubers, not too keen on pushing forward. Just a matter of waiting. So Smiley is going to be up front all the way at choke, you know, spamming out his stickies, making sure nobody comes in. You do see Dustin, I believe, trying to go in for the aggressive bomb. Getting healed up by his medic once again. So both teams not too keen on pushing anything at all. They're just holding their ground, you know, waiting for that number advantage. It's just, you know, it's a waiting game or a mind game. Currently the score is still 1-1. This is the third round for this map. The current time left for the server is going to be 22, a little under 22 minutes. And both teams getting their players buffed up. Pat.GG players, you know, just rotating around. It does look like they are going to try to push in from, there we go, you do see the Uber pops from IT. Both teams do trade the Ubers. Uber is going to fade for the MJM players, but Pat.GG players are going to be dropping like flies. We do see Richie's currently at 75 health, with the only other person not being Dustin, whipping out his shotgun to take down Moonlit, but gets destroyed shortly after by Sphere, getting avenged. So Richie's does get finished off as well. Kitty currently the only person up for the side of Pat.GG. He's going to back out all the way to last through boilers. So long waiting game, but in the end it did tip into the favor of MJM. Currently we do see two off classes for the side of Pat.GG. They do have a heavy as well as a sniper. Smiley is going to back in to spawn once again, and respawn as the demo man. So heavy is going to be the single off class. Spire is going to be in the hands of MJM already. Currently the Uber is going to be in favor of MJM, currently at 67% against Richie's 22. So once they get that Uber charge on hand, they have that small window of opportunity to push in all the way to get the final capture point. So just going to be waiting for that Uber to pop up, and we do see Himera has the Uber on hand. They are going to be pushing in from the rollout. Here we go. Moonlit is going to be aggressively bombing in the upper. He do has his sights on the heavy weapons guy right now. He is going to take down the heavy shortly after. You do see the scouts trying their best to defend the final point against Moonlit. He does get taken down shortly after. The scout does go down. You do see quite a few players from Pat.GG getting taken down. There we go. MJM takes the third round. The current score is going to be 2-1 for CP Process. So that is going to be the third round right there. Follow Asan for his rollout for the fourth round. Pat.GG, let's see if they can turn things around once again. They've been playing extremely well. You know, contrary to prior matches, they are actually seemingly, you know, on the top of the game. So Asan is going to be backing out into the sewers to get his health back up once again. Kitty and Kure do fall during the mid fight, with EV and Dustin a little bit low. Sphere does get taken down as well, but the midpoint is going to go into the favor of MJM. They do have the capture time going up, so it is going to fall into their hands as we speak. We see EV whipping out the Boston Basher, building that Uber charge for Pat.GG. They do already have the Uber on hand, while MJM Uber will come in very, very shortly. The aggressive bomb coming in, trying to get this force onto the medic. Not that successful, does get destroyed and taken down. So Ubers are going to be traded right here. Himera trying to follow anybody at all. Goes back to the Devilman at choke. So Uber's fading for the side of Pat.GG. Uber ended for the side of MJM. They're losing lots of players. 3 players do go down doing that exchange. Here they are going to back out all the way to their choke. Currently only Carolyn, well, not Carolyn anymore. Currently only Sphere and Himera with Millie and Big Head spawning in right now. So Uber is going to be in favor of Pat GG players. Richie's is the one with 52% on charge, with Kure falling to the ground. Curse you, gravity. He does crater, and Sphere coming in trying to get the force down into the medic, but Richie's goes down with the aggressive bomb coming out from Big Head. Big Head does get finished off shortly after with Kitty's pistol. So the Uber advantage for Richie's was effectively destroyed by Big Head. So lovely trade coming out from Big Head right there. Moonlit is gonna go down once again. Midpoint will go into the hands of MJM with Pat GG players spawning in right now with Moonlit coming up in 12 seconds. Uber is going to fall into the hands of Himera very shortly, currently at 90% on hand with his Medigun. So once again, no off-classing for the side of Pat GG at the moment. We do see Kure coming in from excuse me, coming in, keeping his eye out on IT, making sure nobody flanks in from that area. We do see the silhouettes of Carolyn and Moonlit as well. So does look like they're keeping their eye out that side as well. So Uber, it was popped for the side of MJM. They are going to be pushing in all the way, pushing the Pat GG players very far back. The Uber does fade onto the scout. He is going to be taken down, but Himera does back out with still alive, up and healthy, getting his charge back up once again. Spire is going to fall into the hands of MJM. But Pat GG does lose Kure coming up in 4 seconds, Sphere coming up in 1. So currently no off-classing for the side of Pat GG at the moment. We do see MJM currently at 39% with Pat GG at 99, make that 100 as we speak. So Uber is going to be in the hands of Pat GG. They could possibly push out. It does look like they intend to. And he has his sights on the medic. The medic does try to fake that Uber, popping that command, and Richie's drops with the sticky track coming up from Asan. So that Uber drop, absolutely massive loss for the side of Pat GG. They do not have any medic to defend last. They do not have any Uber charge at all. 2 players only up for the side of Pat GG, make that a full wipe, and there you go. MJM is gonna take the 4th round, bringing the score 3-1. So that Uber drop for the side of Pat GG, that is what caused the loss. A loss of the final point once Richie's was taken out with Asan's sticky trap. Just straight away, that allowed MJM to push all the way to last. So lovely sticky traps coming out from Asan. He does pick the medic off, taking that Uber out of the equation, allowing the MJM players to go all the way balls deep and wiping Pat GG and capturing last. So the mid fight is going to be on the way with Kitty and Kure going down, followed shortly after by EV. Big Head does get taken out. Richie's follows shortly after, so only Dustin and Smiley up at the moment. Make that just Dustin up at the moment. He is going to back out all the way to last, but we do already see, the MGM players moving up all the way extremely aggressively. Carolyn, flanking her out through boilers as well as the last point. Spire is going to fall into the hands of MJM relatively unhindered. We do see Kure currently on the engineer, building up his sentry on the left side of spawn, so they do have to get this up very quickly. Himera does have Uber on hand, with Richie's only at 25, so let's hope the 7th man can, help out the team with defending last. We do see the lovely headshot coming down by EV, totally negating the Uber. Himera bites the dust. That is the Uber completely gone for the side of MJM. Pat GG, lovely snipes coming out from EV, totally negating the Uber for the side of MJM. So MJM do not have any charge. They do not have any Uber or heals at all, with Himera spawning in right now. So Kitty is going to make his way onto the point, but the sticky traps takes him down. Evie and Kitty get destroyed by sticky traps coming up from Asan. So Asan with the extremely, sneaky stickies, just wiping people off the map. Smiley does bite the dust after eating a couple of scatter shots coming out from Sphere. So Himera and Sphere are going to be pushing it all the way to the last. Spire, of course, is still currently in the hands of MJM. Kure still the engineer with his level 3, the 7th man for the team, currently up on the left side spawn. He is going to swap out to Solly though, so it doesn't look like, not too sure why they swapped out, but he was, they do have EV on sniper at the moment, so right, sorry, it wasn't a headshot, it was a body shot. I've been corrected in Twitch chat, so apologies for that. Yeah, so Himera was taken down by a sniper shot. Lovely negating right there. So Uber is going to be on hands of Himera. Not anymore. Once again, EV with the body shot taking down Himera. So 0 charge again for the side of NJM. They have 0 heals as well. Asan coming out with the sneaky stickies upside on the left side shadow walkway. Currently only 3 players up for the side of MJM. with Richie's currently holding on to that lovely 70% on hand. Doesn't look like they intend to push out anything at all. They're just keeping their boots dug deep on the final point. The stickies were detonated on the right side shutter, so it didn't take anyone down. Yeah, so Pat.GG doing an extremely good job, especially EV right there, taking out the medic multiple times. They do look like they intend to push out from the shutters, from rollout, sorry. EV, Dustin and the medic Uber is going to be popped right here. So Smiley and Dustin are going to be shiny. They are going to push out MJM, pushing them all the way back to the midpoint. And there you go. Lovely plays coming out from Pat.GG so far. They have deterred, you know, multiple pushes coming out from MJM. We do see a spy, you know, Big Head trying to get the back cap down. He's going toe to toe with the Solly, but gets denied and taken down. So nice try by Big Head. If he had taken down Kure, he could have gotten the back cap down. But there were already people capturing Spire, so it would have been a little bit tight right there. So Spire goes in the hands of Pat.GG. Lovely job by Pat.GG right there. They are going to be holding choke. So Uber is going to come up in the hands of Himera very shortly. Asan is going to be rotating around between IT as well as choke. So Uber is in the hands of MJM. They does look like they are going to commit to this push right here. A couple of stickies right there could have been bad news. Uber is going to be popped right here onto the scout. They are going to push all the way to last while the rest of the team captures Spire for them. They are going to push forward to try to get a pick down onto the medic, but Uber is going to end and into the favor of Pat.GG. So Richie's is going to be the one with the full Uber charge. Spire is going to go into the hands of MJM. Yep, their Uber is going to be popped, and Dustin with the aggressive bomb coming in and destroy Himera. Kitty does take down Asan as well, so lots of players going to be going down for the side of MJM. Make that 3 players going down for both teams. Kure, EV, Kitty, as well as Big Head, Asan, and Himera. And the back cap goes down. So Sphere just went all around and captured the point for MJM, while Pat.GG were too preoccupied just capturing Spire, you know, putting the fight down. So very smart move by Sphere, you know, while Pat.GG players were distracted. He does back out all the way to last and captures the point for his team. So Asan is going to reach midpoint, spamming out his stickies already, you know, onto choke, onto the health pack. He does eat a rocket directly to his face, get him taken down. He's going to get healed up by Himera. No issues right there. So stickies are going to be spammed out onto the crates with Kitty and EV on the point currently. Try to spam out the damage, the scatter shot damage going out. He does get taken down a little bit low. He leaves the health pack to his Solly friend right there. Kure does get the health pack. So only two players up for the side of Pat.GG. They are going to back out all the way to last, I believe. While Himera is going to have 95% on hand, with Reggie spawning in right now. Currently, no off-classing at the moment. EV is going to be sneaky beaky up in the IT, you know, hiding up top. He is going to make his way back to mid. He does not spot that blue Solly right there behind him, though. So there you go, Spire is going to go into the hands of MJM. Lots of frags coming out, lots of damage being exchanged. Richie does get taken down. Big Head does get destroyed by a scattergun as well. So we are going to remain in the perspective on Dustin. Lots of people trying to capture the point, get some capture time down onto the final point. Dustin trying to do his work, but just couldn't hold out the last point on his own. So the sixth round? Yeah, 6th round is going to go into the hands of MJM, and apparently I haven't updated the scores for quite some time. Current score is going to be 5-1. This could be map point, sorry, for MJM. So, following Kure for his rollout this time around. He does eat a sticky directly to his face after exiting choke right there. Solly with the bomb trying to get the pick down onto the medic. He does so successfully though. Lovely bomb coming in from Moonlit. Kure does get taken down as well. Dustin the only one up, not anymore. The entirety of Pat.GG takes a bus to heaven together. All 6 of them making that road trip worthwhile. Himera currently with 80% on hand, 60%, 82% charge on hand. They are going to be pushing all the way into the last. Current score is still 5-1. Spire currently not captured though. They are just going to be pushing forward all the way, spawn camping the Pat.GG players. Uber is still on hand, not going to be popped anytime soon. Let's see if the Uber can be forced, and there we go. Lovely force coming up from Kitty. The Uber is going to be forced. Spire is going to go into the hands of MJM, and there you go. Uber is going to be taken off. They are going to try to capture the point. Uber fades and the scout gets taken down. The medic gonna try to do the solo cap, but just not enough with the Solly and the Devilman coming in a little bit late. Smiley gets destroyed shortly after, and there you go. The score is gonna be 6-1, and that is gonna conclude the first map CP process. For those of you unfamiliar with the AFC rules set, is that a difference of 5 points or the server time of 30 minutes finishes up. So a point difference of 5 is, you know, right there we do have the point difference of 5. We can take a quick look at the stats right here, hopefully before they change the map. So top damager is going to be Sphere at a whopping 7.4 thousand damage, coming out from a scout, you know, topping the damage scoreboard, with Merc Smiley falling quite far behind at 6.5 thousand. So loads of damage coming out from Sphere right there. Down to the medic stats, well, not anymore, so they are going to go through a map change. So the second map is going to be CP Snakewater. Going to be a interesting map to watch them play right here. So right off the bat, PatGG did an extremely good job, you know, just watching the you know, especially during the second round where they did that coast-to-coast push, and it appears I do not have this map at all. Something's not right. Just to see if I can get this map down. Right, so apparently I don't have this map. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a technical issue, where we're going to have to get the map first before we can resume the cast. So going to have to get the map really quickly. So going to be a short downtime. Okay, there we go. So I've got the map right now. So just you know, just small little technical glitch. My map wasn't the same map as the one that they have loaded onto the server. It does look like some of the other players don't have that map as well. So I've done, you know, I've downloaded my map, so I'm in the server right now. So let's just hop in and wait for stuff to happen. Wait for the rest of the teammates to come in. So the first round, you know, went into the hands of MJM. The score was 6-1. But we did see PatGG put up a pretty good fight. They did do a good job of defending their points. You know, it's just that during the mid fights, after the, you know, from the points after on, there should be, you know, they just started faltering a little bit, and MGM just started taking the lead once again. They just didn't let up at all. So we do see lots of aggression coming up from MGM once again. Definitely the upper tier of the Div 3 bracket. So I'm very curious as to who their matchup will be the following week. And yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see, you know, what their matchup will be next week, and you know, in the hopes that their you know, their next matchup will be an exciting match as well. You know, once again, nothing will probably trump the excitement for the match between TMG and BRG in the week 1. You know, if that was the opening match, that would have been absolutely amazing. Right, so we are just going to be waiting on the rest of the players to come in. It does look like some of the MJM players are still waiting on that map download as well. We do have some of them coming in right now. Oh, there we go. We do have all the players for MJM currently in, with just waiting on the final 2 players for the side of PatGG, I believe. Dustin as well as Kure are the 2 players that we are waiting for, the 2 solis for the side of PatGG. So this is the second map of the night. We are on Snakewater, CP Snakewater, and this is going to be the second cast for tonight as well. So, yep, there we go. Some of the players for the side of PatGG are going to be making their way in shortly after. So this is going to be Snakewater between MJM against PatGG. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the AsiaFortress Cup Season 10 Division 3 bracket. Week 3 matchups, and the matchups are of course between MJM and PatGG. Right, so we're just gonna have to wait for the final player to come in before we can start the match proper, so just hang tight. Right, so still waiting on the final few players for the side of PatGG. In the meantime, there we go. There's another poll for you. Who do you think is going to take Snakewater? Now, of course, you know, it's you know, just the votes might skew in favor of one team or another. But it's all personal opinion, so don't worry, just cast your votes, it's all fine and dandy. This is CP Snakewater. Looking forward to this map. You know, just let's just see if the teams can perform, you know, put their best foot forward. So, like we've been seeing in the you know, the previous cast as well, MJM going absolutely massive. You know, just taking out multiple players during the mid-fights and then pushing to last, especially when they went up against LK during the previous match at 9 PM. Now we have them going up against PatGG, and you know, we saw PatGG put up a very good fight during the first 2 rounds, first 3 rounds even, of the CP process map. So, just waiting on the players to ready up, and then we can start. Alright, this looks like they are going to be ready up, and here we go. This is going to be the second map for tonight's CP Snakewater for MJM going up against PatGG. So we're going to follow Arslan for his rollout this time round. He's going to make his way all the way into the mid through the saw room right here. There we go. So you do see pipes coming in and stickers coming in from the side of PatGG already. The damage, you know, the damages are going to be traded and exchanged right here. So Big Head being the first one to bite the dust during the mid fight, dusting it extremely low, gets lovely arrow or health pack right there. gets healed up. Smiley does bite the dust. Kitty following shortly after, but Himera gets taken down during the mid-fight. So 0 heals and 0 charge for the side of MJM. Currently only 3 players, Arsan, Sphere and Carolyn, with Arsan getting extremely low, down to 5 health. He does crater in the end, so the big head is going to make his way back up to the second point. And Sphere trying to go toe-to-toe with the Scout. He does take down EV successfully. He's going to flank around, try to get some damage down onto the medic. He does have his sights on the medic, getting lots of damage down. The lovely pick by Sphere, just taking out Richie's straight on the spot right there, giving the Uber advantage into the hands of MJM with a lovely air shot coming out from Kure right there. So midpoint currently is still in the hands of PatGG. And we're just waiting for the rest of the players to spawn in, make their way up to the midpoint. And MJM players are going to be hanging a little bit far back. They are going to slowly make their way forward. They do have that Uber advantage on hand, currently at 50%. They don't have any number advantage of any sort at the moment, though. So Arsan with that little sneaky stickies down by the staircase. We do see those little spiky balls right there. So we're going to follow Himera, making his way up on the left side inside the Saw Room. I'm going to be rotating around to, let the Solly keep his eye out, making sure, get the locations of the rest of the players. So, PatGG playing a little bit passively this time around. Smart move. They're not going to be pushed in blindly because, sticky traps are going to be everywhere. Uber is going to be in the hands of Himera right now, and it does look like they are going to commit to this push right here. The Solly are going to be bombing in, try to get the sights down onto the medic. Uber is going to be popped right here, so Himera does save his life. 3 players are going to be down for the side of MJM, Arsan, Big Head, and Sphere. They are going to be spawning in 10 seconds. So 3 players are going to be down for the side of MJM, despite them having that Uber push. PatGG, extremely smart decision to back out, let that Uber wear off before they push back in once again. So Kitty is going to go in extremely aggressively, try to push forward through the Saw Room, making his way forward together with the Demo Man. They are going to pump out some damage to deter people from pushing up that way. So lovely play by PatGG right there. They are going to be pushing forward. Midpoint currently still in the hands of PatGG. They are trying to make their way forward to capture the second point right here. The Solly of the bomb takes down Kitty very quickly. Smiley getting a little bit low, down to 70 health. Uber is going to be popped right here onto Dustin. Dustin getting the extreme bomb, trying to get the pick down onto the medic. Himera getting taken down to 19 health. Managed to survive somehow. Nice try by Dustin right there. So he tries to get the pick down onto the medic, but the medic does manage to survive and see another day. So Richie's currently at 23% with Himera at 87%. Curry and Dustin, with Dustin coming up right now. Curry coming up in the next 12 seconds. Mid-fight is going to be underway once again. Moonlit currently up top on the left side, spamming down the rockets. Midpoint does look like it's going to go into the hands of MJM. They are going to be pushing forward, extending their ground. PatGG are going to be backing out to the second point right there. So lots of catch time going up for the midpoint. Richie's does get taken down by the rocket coming out from Big Head. Big Head does get destroyed shortly after, but that's a very good trade. Lovely wall rocket coming out from Moonlit as well. Lots of players dropping down for the side of PatGG. Moonlit whipping out the shotgun, laying down the damage onto Kure. Kure does get taken out in the end. Dustin currently the only player up for the side of PatGG. He is going to be watching, up top, and they do not notice him. He is going to rotate back around onto the final point, but there's loads of people down onto the point, and that is going to be that. The first round goes in the hands of MJM. So very good attempt from PatGG. They did a very good job, winning the mid fight, milking that Uber even, and just pushing all the way, trying the best to push forward. So we are going to follow Smiley for his rollout this time around. See if he makes his way to mid, and they are going to exchange stickies and damage and pipes all the way. Here we go. Mid fight is going to be on the way, and there are lots of damage coming out from Arsan. The aggressive Solly bomb coming in takes down Richie's very successfully. Big Head does go down shortly after, but that's a very good trade right there. Solly for a medic. Kitty does get taken down, followed by Evie shortly after. Hand in hand, both scouts are going to be down, spawning in 11 seconds. With Big Head the only one going down to the mid fight for the side of MJM, sorry. So they do take the midpoint, and they do have that lovely 87% charge on hand. They are going to be coming up from that side right there, pushing their way, pushing forward all the way onto the next point. PatGG players are going to be backing out. They do not have, that Uber charge to contest against Himera. Currently, Himera does already have that Uber charge on hand. Smiley trying to lay down the sticky traps, sneaky sticky traps to get anything done. Evie is going to off-class to Sniper once again. Let's see if we can get onto his perspective. He's going to be rotating around the right side spawn door. keeping his eye out, see if he can get that medic pick once again. We did see Evie get, you know, 2 lovely medic drops during the previous map on CP process. Let's see if he can carry out those plays once again. So Ubers are still on the hands of nope, there we go, he almost got the pick, but the Uber was popped by Himera very quickly, you know, the moment they walked out from the shadow doors. So Himera running around trying to get his teammates back up to full health. Lots of damage coming down onto MJM. Lots of damage coming out. They are gonna lose Himera and Moonlit, but lots of players are going to drop for the side of PatGG, make that a full wipe for PatGG, and the final point is going to go into the hands of MJM, bringing the score 2-0 in favor of MJM. So lots of aggression coming up from MJM once again. Himera just staying alive, you know, to keep that Uber up for the team. Nice try by Evie to get the pick down onto the medic, but just wasn't successful. Himera with that timely pop. If Evie was you know, if he got that shot down a little bit quicker, it would have been absolutely massive for PatGG, totally negating that Uber. So Ubers are going to be equal. The mid fight is going to be underway. Asan is going to be on the point, getting the capture time up, spamming out his stickies onto the entirety of PatGG, with Kure going down, but Moonlit and Big Head following shortly after as well. So 2 solis down for both teams at the moment. Kure and Dustin, with Moonlit and Big Head both down. You know, all of them down, so no solis for both teams. Sticky trap right there, a little bit dangerous. Doesn't detonate in time. If Smiley got that det, it would have been absolutely lovely pick. You know, Asan probably would have bit the dust. So both teams do have Uber on hand. You know, a little pipe roller does come in, get a little damage down onto the scout, but no worries, the medic is right there to heal him back up once again. So MJM players are going to be buffed up, PatGG players are going to be buffed up as well. So Kitty spamming out the pistol damage through the window, trying to get any damage done at all. Rockets come flying into his direction. There we go. Uber is going to be popped for the side of MJM. PatGG following shortly after. So Himera is going to be the one to back out first. Uber is going to fade for the side of MJM, with PatGG's Uber fading right now. The Solly tries to flank around to get the pick down on the medic. Not too successful. Nice try. Dustin does a good job of defending the medic right there. But currently only the medic and Dustin up at the moment. The scout coming in trying to get the damage down onto Dustin. Dustin getting extremely low. There we go. And the scout's going to capture the point for MJM. And there we go. Round 3 goes into the hands of MJM. The score is going to be 3-0. And yeah, so MJM just not letting up at all. We do have Big Head as a sniper, so a little bit of an off-class, running sniper to mid for MJM. No off-classing yet for the side of PatGG. Let's keep our perspective onto Big Head right now, see if he can get any picks during the mid fight. Lots of damage is, you know, going to be traded right there. He has his sights on the medic, tries to get the flick shot down, not too successful. Carolyn getting a little bit low, now down to 97 health, gets healed up once again, no worries right there. Big Hit getting the body shots down onto the players. Kitty being the first one to bite the dust during the mid fight. Smiley following shortly after. Carolyn currently at 27 health, but gets buffed up. No worries right there for the side of MJM. They do have their full roster up and running with 95% charge on hand, coming up with the full Uber into the hands of Himera. Kitty and Smiley only spawning in right now. Himera going a little bit too far forward. Uber gets forced with the aggressive bomb coming from Dustin. Uber just get traded right here. So Himera's Uber is going to end a little bit earlier than Richie's Uber, but they are going to back out all the way to last already. So no off-classing for the side of PatGG once again. No heavy demo or pyro. Sorry, no heavy NG or pyro for PatGG. We do see the 2 scouts down below. Sphere is going to be down below. He has his sights on Kitty, trying to go toe-to-toe against scout to scout, but the Kitty does get taken down by Moonlit's rockets. EV gets headshotted down by the Big Head. Big Head currently still the sniper for the MJM players. And there we go, we do have the scout rushing the point, and that is going to be that. The Solly tries to rocket jump to defend the final point, but it's just too far away, bringing the score 4-0 in favor of MJM. So this could possibly be the match point for MJM for CP Snakewater. Currently we do still have Big Head on the sniper. Just maintain our perspective on him for the moment. See if he can get any picks onto PatGG. Tries to get the headshot down onto the Solly, but just not too successful. Gets the headshot down onto Smiley though. Lots of players are going to be dropping for the side of Pat.GG with Evie and Kitty following shortly after. Kure goes to heaven as well. Dustin getting signboarded and just taken down. Richie's currently the only one up. All the players for the side of MJM are going to be pushing forward extremely aggressively, trying to hunt down Richie's, but it does look like Richie's does survive to see another day. So Uber is going to be in the hands of Himera very, very shortly. That point right there is going to go into the hands of MJM. We do see the players pushing forward all the way to the final point. Uber is going to be forced. The body shot does go down onto Himera, but the Uber was ready on hand. So there we go. The players trying their best to defend the final point. The lovely shot coming down. Richie's gets destroyed. Moonlit falling shortly after. Evie goes down as well. Kure and Dustin, the only players up, make that only Dustin at the moment, and it's going to be a full wipe. And there we go, 5-0 in favor of MJM. They do take the second map as well. So that is going to be it for the matchup between MJM going up against Pat.GG. Just totally unrelenting with MJM just dominating everything so far. Just take a look at these stats real quick. The top damager is going to be Moonlit this time around. Currently at 3.8 thousand damage being pumped out by Moonlit, followed shortly after by Sphere. Sphere being an extremely scary scout, you know, just pumping out 3.6 thousand damage, hanging up together with the ranks of the Solis and the Demoman, you know, all that damage right there. So down to the medic stats, we do see one single drop for Richie's. Very, very sad drop right there. 3 charges built for Richie's and 6 charges built for Himera. The healing order is a little bit different right here. We do see Kure getting the least of the heals, with Dustin getting the most, followed by Moonlit and Big Head Asan, you know, getting the top 3 heals. A fairly common sight that we usually see for the medic heal percentage, you know, for the healing rate in general. So that has been the MJM going up against Pat.GG. It was extremely interesting match, to say the least. A little bit of a mix up with the scenes right there, but it's all fine. Yeah, so MJM takes both maps, CP Snakewater as well as CP Process. 5-0 for Snakewater and 6-1 for Process. So congratulations to the MJM players. Good job to Pat.GG though. They did put up a very, very good fight, you know, defending their points from MJM capturing, especially doing the first 3 rounds for CP Process. After that, they probably just lost momentum, or, you know, I had no idea, maybe just fatigue. But yeah, so good job to both teams. Congratulations to MJM. We're gonna hop to the schedule for this week. It does look like tomorrow's cast is going to be cancelled because one of the players told me that Godsend is not going to be taking part in the remainder of AFC 10. Not too sure about that. Have to, you know, get some confirmation before, you know, before that goes down once again. Sunday's cast, I will have to find a replacement caster. They will have to find someone to do the coverage for that match. The Reddit headline is going up against Technology Eclipse. I will be unavailable for that match, so I will have to find a replacement caster. I will host their channel if they do decide to cast. If I can find a replacement in the end, I will host that channel onto my channel, so you know you can watch their channel if you basically. Yep, so that is going to be it for tonight. That was MJM going up against Pat.GG for the 11 o'clock match, and yep, congratulations to MJM.